Welcome, seekers of truth and connoisseurs of the human condition. You have arrived at Anything You Want, the digital sanctuary where we dismantle the superficial layers of celebrity news to expose the raw, beating heart of the stories that define our culture. We are not here for the fleeting headline, we are here for the enduring narrative. If you value journalism that respects your intelligence and delves into the psychological depths of fame, please, take a moment to subscribe. Ignite that notification bell so that you remain at the vanguard of the conversation. And for the true patrons of our art, those who wish to empower us to dig deeper and speak louder, the join button stands ready. Your membership is the lifeblood of this channel, allowing us to remain independent and fearless. Don't forget to like this video to help us cut through the noise of the algorithm. Today, we turn our gaze toward a conflict as old as time but played out on the newest of stages. We are examining the intricate, painful, and ultimately redeeming saga involving Kerem Bürsin, his beloved Hande Erçel, and the unexpected intervention of his own father, Kerem Bürsin. This is not merely a story about a social media comment, it is a treatise on boundaries, the evolution of a man, and the quiet power of a woman who knows her worth. Let us step into the arena. The world of celebrity journalism is accustomed to shocks. We are used to the clandestine photos snapped in dimly lit restaurants, the cryptic captions on Instagram stories, and the orchestrated press releases announcing conscious uncouplings. However, the tremor that recently propagated through the Turkish entertainment industry possessed a different, more visceral frequency. The source of this disturbance was not a rival lover or a paparazzi ambush, but a figure from the inner sanctum of family. Kerem Bürsin, the father of the celebrated actor Kerem Bürsin. In an era where social media serves as both a town square and a weapon, a single comment can ignite a conflagration, and that is precisely what occurred. Reports indicate that the elder Bürsin, a man usually removed from the frenetic energy of his son's stardom, authored a comment on a social media platform that was perceived as distinctly suggestive and coldly distant regarding Hande Erçel. The specifics of the digital utterance were ambiguous enough to allow for interpretation, yet sharp enough to draw blood. To the millions of observers who track the constellation of relationships in the dizzy world, this was not a benign observation, it was a breach of protocol, a violation of the unspoken pact that family remains neutral ground. The rapid dissemination of this comment created an immediate schism within the fanbase. One faction, perhaps clinging to traditional notions of paternal authority, argued that the words were merely the expression of a father's protective instinct, albeit clumsily phrased. The opposing faction, however, viewed it as an unwarranted and hurtful transgression against Hande Erçel, a public undressing of a private dynamic that had no business being aired in the digital agora. This raises a profound ethical question that we must grapple with. In your own lives, where do you draw the line with family interference in your romantic relationships? Is blood always thicker than water, or does the water of a new love wash away the sins of the past? We invite you to share your personal philosophies in the comments section below. These are the discussions that make the Anything You Want community so vibrant. And if you are finding this analysis thought-provoking, please consider hitting the join button to access our exclusive members-only chats. The true measure of a man's character is often found not in his actions during times of peace, but in his reaction to conflict, especially when that conflict originates from his own lineage. Kerem Bürsin, an actor who has spent years meticulously crafting a public persona defined by approachability, professionalism, and a certain Western-influenced stoicism, found himself at a crossroads. To remain silent would be to implicitly endorse the slight against his partner. To speak out would be to publicly rebuke his own flesh and blood. According to whispers from the innermost circles of the industry, the internal turmoil was significant. Kerem, known for his reverence for family ties, was reportedly deeply wounded by the incident. However, the protective instinct toward Hande Erçel proved to be the stronger force. Breaking his characteristic reserve regarding family matters, Kerem Bürsin stepped into the light with a statement that was brief in word count but monumental in impact: "I expect respect." These 3 words, delivered with the precision of a scalpel, severed the ambiguity. It was a declaration of sovereignty. By demanding respect, he was not merely addressing the trolls or the gossip columnists, he was drawing a definitive boundary around his relationship, a boundary that even a father could not cross with impunity. Industry analysts have interpreted this as a watershed moment in Bürsin's personal evolution. The golden boy who politely navigated the press had transformed into a fierce guardian of his private realm. It was a message sent to the world. Hande Erçel is not just a co-star or a girlfriend, she is a protected entity under his watch. While the storm raged around her, with fans debating and headlines screaming, Hande Erçel adopted a strategy that can only be described as regal. She remained silent. In a media landscape that rewards instant gratification and clapbacks, her refusal to engage was a masterclass in emotional intelligence. There were no cryptic quotes, no tearful videos, no defensive press releases. The beautiful actress, understanding that her voice would only add oxygen to the fire, chose to let her partner's defense stand on its own. Sources close to the couple suggest that this silence was not born of weakness, but of security. Hande reportedly found sufficient solace in Kerem's unequivocal public stance. Knowing that he was willing to confront his own father to protect her dignity rendered any additional comment superfluous. She operated under the ancient wisdom that silence is sometimes the strongest response. By staying above the fray, she denied the tabloids the chaotic back-and-forth they so desperately craved. This maturity has not gone unnoticed. It has reinforced the public perception of her as a woman of grace, one who values harmony over drama. It is said that in private, she leaned on her closest friends and focused on maintaining her mental equilibrium, refusing to let the external cacophony disturb her internal peace. We often talk about power moves in this industry. Do you agree that Hande's silence was more powerful than any speech she could have made? Or would you have preferred to hear her side of the story? Let us know your thoughts. And remember, subscribing to Anything You Want is the best way to ensure you get these nuanced breakdowns every single week. Adversity, as the philosophers tell us, is the crucible in which relationships are tested. Many celebrity romances, fragile as spun glass, shatter at the first sign of external pressure, particularly when that pressure comes from family disapproval. Yet, the narrative emerging from this crisis is not one of fragmentation, but of solidification. Sources close to the pair indicate that the incident has acted as a binding agent, fusing them together in an us-against-the-world dynamic. Far from driving a wedge between them, Kerem Bürsin's comment inadvertently forced them to define their priorities. For Kerem, this was a moment of crystallization. It is rumored that he is operating on a new principle: my life, my decision. The hesitation that might have characterized his younger years has evaporated, replaced by a decisive possessiveness, in the healthiest sense of the word. He has taken ownership of his narrative. The way the couple navigated this crisis, Kerem with his shield raised, Hande with her quiet dignity, has led gossip circles to re-evaluate the seriousness of their union. This is no longer seen as a fleeting set romance. It is being viewed as a mature partnership capable of weathering complex emotional storms. Fans are already interpreting Kerem's fierce defense as a harbinger of serious future plans, perhaps even marriage, as it signals a shift from dating to family building. The question of the father remains. Will Kerem Bürsin retract his statement? Will there be a public apology? Information leaking from the family's periphery suggests that a détente has been reached behind closed doors. It is claimed that Kerem had a frank, difficult, and necessary conversation with his father, explicitly outlining the hurt caused by the post. Following this confrontation, an agreement was reportedly made to de-escalate, ensuring that the tension would not spill over into further public embarrassment. It is a resolution achieved through communication, a testament to Kerem's desire to heal the wound rather than let it fester. Remarkably, throughout this entire emotional ordeal, Kerem Bürsin's professional armor never developed a chink. Colleagues on set report that his work ethic remained impregnable. He arrived on time, delivered his lines with his usual intensity, and refused to let the shadow of his personal life darken the mood of the production. This compartmentalization is the hallmark of a true veteran. He did not disrupt filming schedules, he did not bring his grievances to the craft services table. He simply worked. This discipline has only endeared him further to his peers and his fans. Social media comments have been overwhelmingly supportive, with phrases like "he did what was necessary" and "a true gentleman" dominating the discourse. He has managed to be both a devoted son who solves issues privately and a devoted partner who defends publicly. As the dust settles, it becomes clear that this event will be remembered as a turning point in the public narrative of Kerem Bürsin. For years, he was the charming lead, the romantic hero. Now, he is a man of substance who has drawn a line in the sand. He has signaled to the world, and to his own family, that his choices are his own, and that respect is the currency required to remain in his orbit. The tabloids will move on to the next scandal, but the repercussions of this stance will linger. It has set a precedent. Anyone who wishes to comment on Kerem Bürsin's life now knows the cost of disrespect. Hande Erçel, too, emerges from this unscathed and perhaps even more beloved, her dignity intact, her relationship fortified. They have shown that while they live in the public eye, their hearts remain private territory, guarded fiercely against intrusion. It is a rare thing to witness a celebrity protect their private life with such fierce elegance. Kerem Bürsin and Hande Erçel have taught us a lesson in boundaries, loyalty, and the strength of silence. They have proven that love, when true, is worth fighting for, even when the battle is against those we call kin. We will continue to monitor this situation, watching to see how this newfound strength influences their future projects and their journey together. But for now, the message is clear: respect is non-negotiable. What do you think the future holds for this power couple? Will this incident lead to a proposal, or will the family tensions continue to simmer? We want to hear your predictions in the comments. If you appreciated this deep, literary dive into the news, please smash that like button and share this video with a friend who loves the truth. And for the ultimate anything you want experience, click join to become a part of our inner circle. Thank you for watching, and until next time, remember to guard your heart as fiercely as Kerem guarded his.